morning. How are you? I think you will be safe at home. And now today we will start the chapter Life Process 6, part 4 of class 10 science. Today we will discuss the nutrition in human being, which is similar to the amoeba. But in amoeba, the whole surface, whole cell perform all that function. But in human being, as the complexity is increased, means multicellular cell are more than one, then they do the specific function. And the nutrition in human being will be based on, first is ingestion. And now during the process of digestion in human being or the nutrition in human being, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and ingestion process will take place. That is the complete process of digestive systems, and this complete digestion system will take place in the alimentary canal. And now first step is ingestion, in which intake of food, the solid food is taking inside the mouth. That process is known as ingestion. Intake of food and digestion. When intake of food, that is complex in nature, and that food is break down into simpler form. The complex nature food is break down into simpler. That process is known as digestion, which take place in stomach. And absorption, movement of the digestion food, means the food which converted into simpler form, and that food has to move to other part where the assimilation and absorption will take place. And that absorption, the movement of digested foods, the food which is simplest in nature, that has to move to the small intestine where the absorption and assimilation will take place. They are taken simultaneously. Assimilation, the utilization of food, means the food which is in liquid form, that will be reached to all part of the body with the help of blood. Means blood carry the nutrient which was present in the food, that will be transported to carry to all part of the body. And lastly, the undigested food which is not useful for our body, that should be excreted from our body. That process is known as ingestion. It means ingestion, taking of food, digestion, breaking down of complex food into simpler form, absorption means movement. The digested food has to move into the blood, and the blood will move to the all part of the body, carry the nutrient. That means assimilation, and ingestion, the waste material that is excreted out from our body, which is undigested food. And the waste material that will be excreted from our body in form of solid, in form of liquid, in form of gas. And the nutrition in a human being is how the nutrition in human being will occur. That will be explained. And now the nutrition in human being. First, the solid food which taking inside the mouth. This process is known as ingestion. Intake of whole food. The process to take the whole solid food inside the mouth. This process is known as ingestion. Means taking of solid food inside the mouth is known as ingestion. And after taking the food inside the mouth, the food has to be chewed and converted into small piece with the help of teeth. Means these teeth help to break down the complex food into small pieces. And these teeth chew and grinding the food. That solid food is converted into a small piece, and the tongue which help to rolling the food and also give the taste and tasting of the food, and also help to swallow the food inside to help to move to the esophagus food pipe. This term is help to rolling the food, is help to swallowing the food, is help to taste the food, and also help to push down the foods. And when we take food inside the mouth, there is a water inside the mouth. That actually is not a water. It is saliva which is present in our mouth, which is very helpful. And this saliva is secreted. This saliva, which is enzyme, this is secreted by salivary glands. Between the salivary glands which is present in our mouth, which produce saliva, and that saliva contains salivary amylase, and the salivary amylase is the enzyme which catalyzes the complex food, means starch, into sugar. These salivary glands in our mouth which secretes the saliva and mucus, this saliva contains the salivary amylase which contains the starch into sugar. This question so many times was asked, which glands, which catalyst, which enzyme converted starch into sugar, means salivary amylase which present in saliva, secreted by salivary glands, present in our mouth, converted starch into sugar. And after the saliva which complex try to change the food into the paste form, and that will goes to the, and that push to the stomach through the esophagus means food pipe. Through the food pipe the food pass to the stomach, and this esophagus taking the food from the mouth to the mean esophagus is the food pipe which carry the food from mouth to the stomach, and there is a peristaltic momentum of food, means peristaltic movement of food means here the food particle is here, it will contract and this will be expand. Contraction and expansion by taking food from mouth to stomach. From mouth to stomach, the food is taken with the help of by the esophagus, by which process? Peristaltic movement. By the peristaltic movement, food is passed from mouth to the stomach, and this peristaltic movement means contraction and expansion of the muscle of the esophagus. Means esophagus contract and then push the food in downward direction, and then where the food is present, that will expand, and the food will move from mouth to stomach with the help of esophagus, like food pipe. And this food is now passed to the stomach, and in stomach there is a digestion will take place, and in stomach there is a gastric gland. Similarly, the gland which is present in our mouth is salivary gland, and in stomach there is a gastric glands. Gastric glands secrete the gastric juice which is acidic in nature, and these gastric juice which release three different enzymes. First is pepsin, second is HCl, and third is biocatalyst, and fourth is mucus. And this pepsin which present in the stomach break down the protein which is present in food. It means pepsin which help to break down the protein in the food. That pepsin will break down the food which is present in the protein present in the food in the stomach. It means pepsin is present in the stomach which break down the protein which present in the food, and HCl is also present in the stomach which make the food acidic in medium and also kill the germs which present in the stomach. But excess amount of HCl is harmful to us. If the amount of acid will more than the mucus which is present in the stomach help to protect the inner lining of the stomach from the excess acid. Mucus is the layer which prevent the stomach from the acid present in the stomach, means protect the inner lining of the stomach. If mucus will not present in our stomach, then there will be a disease which can be possibilities, that is ulcer. Mean mucus protect the inner lining of the stomach, and this food then passed from the stomach. The food is passed to the small intestine. Small intestine is the part where the complete digestion will take place. And this complete digestion will take place. Digestion of which food, which contain the nutrient, mean carbohydrate, protein and fats. Means complete digestion of protein, complete digestion of carbohydrate, complete digestion of fats will take place in small intestine. And this small intestine contain the intestinal juice, where the complete digestion of food will take place. Mean carbohydrate which is present in the food converted into glucose, and fat which is present in the food that converted into fatty acid, and protein, and that will be glycerol also, and protein that will be converted into amino acid. And this food is in soluble form, and the small intestine also contain the villi. Villi are the thread-like, finger-like structure which increase the surface area. Why they increase the surface area? To absorb more and more food. Means villi are the finger-like, thread-like structure which increase the surface area to absorb the maximum amount of food. Mean maximum food can be absorbed, and that will be transfer and help. And these villi attached to the different blood vessels, blood capillaries, blood vessels. These are different blood capillaries, blood vessels. They are connected to the which help to carry the food, digested food. They are attached with the n number of blood vessels, and this food will transfer to the blood, mix to the blood. Means villi is the finger-like structure which increase the surface area to absorb more and more food, and these villi are further attached to the blood vessels which carry the nutrient or food to all part of the body. But the food which is present in the intestine, that is converted into simpler form by taking with the help of different enzymes. And that enzyme secreted by livers and by pancreas, and these enzymes are as follow. And the small intestine, where the complete digestion will take place, means carbohydrate change into glucose, and fat into fatty acid, protein into amino acid, fatty acid and also glycerol, fat into fatty acid and glycerol. But small intestine in herbivorous is comparatively larger than the carnivorous. Carnivorous has less length of small intestine as compared to herbivorous. It means herbivorous has the long small intestine. Why? Because herbivorous has to digest cellulose which present in the food, which is difficult to digest. And small intestine receive the secretion from liver. Small intestines receive the secretion or the juice from the liver, and liver release bile juice. Bile juice is secreted by the liver in the small intestine, and this bile juice is helped to break down the large globule of fat, means large piece of fat break down into a small piece of fat, which is help to activate the other enzyme to easy to work. Means large fat globules into small fat globules. Bile juice converted large fat globule to small fat globules, which is easy work other enzyme to be active, and this process is known as emulsification. Emulsification is the process in which the large fat globule is changed into small fat globules, and this bile juice is secreted by liver in the small intestine. And then pancreas is also secretes the pancreatic juice, and pancreatic juice contain trypsin as well as lipase, and trypsin which break down the food which present in the small intestine, and the food, the nutrient protein, the protein which present in the food in small intestine, and that protein is break down into peptone. It means that two, one is pepsin and other is trypsin. Pepsin is also break down the food, but pepsin is the enzyme which break down the food protein in which present in the stomach, and trypsin is break down the protein into peptone, but it break down the protein in small intestine. Means pepsin is present in stomach and trypsin is present in the small intestine. And then lipase which break down the fat, and that fat converted into lipid. Lipase which break down the fat present in the food in small intestine is converted into lipid, and that means lipase is the breakdown of the fat, and that will be take, and one is also take place in small intestine which fat to fatty acid. And now this food is mixed with the blood. Why? Because it contains villi which increase the surface area for maximum absorption of food will take place, and these villi are connected to the richly blood vessels, and these blood vessels carry the digested food in soluble form to all part of the body, which is known as assimilation, and which give us too much energy to do work. And the food which is undigested, not used by our body, that is goes to the small intestine where the excretion will take place. When the undigested food goes to the large intestine from the small intestine, means undigested food which is not digestion take place in small intestine, that transferred to the large intestine, and in large intestine the water which is present in the undigested food take out, and the waste material is excreted from our body through the anus. It means from mouth to the anus, the complete digestion will take place through the alimentary canal. All are the part of the alimentary canal. This is the digestion of the food will take place in human being, which is holozoic mode of nutrition. And learn and read properly, revise it properly. With thanks, and next we will discuss the respiration process. Thank you.